If you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand. Also, I want to remind you that once you ask your question, if you would please lower it. We will start with Fred Katz.
Hey, Scott. Just what are you doing about starters tonight?
Bass, Bonga, Rui, TB, and Jerome.
Why the change with Jerome over Troy?
Troy, the last couple of minutes of practice, he jammed his thumb. He has a sprained right thumb. He won't play tonight. Nothing serious. We just want to hold him out. Tomorrow's an off day, so give him another day's rest, and then hopefully everything's good for the next day.
Is Troy the only one out? Is anybody else missing?
Yeah, Troy's the only one out.
Next question comes from Chris Miller.
Hey, Scotty. Good evening. How are you?
Doing well, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Second, scrimmage. Obviously, the minutes will go back to NBA regulation. I think you said the other day you might ramp up some people's minutes here. Specifically, is there someone that you need to see tonight, maybe take that next step in the progression of getting ready for a regular season game?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to play a little more minutes, a few guys. Nothing probably in the 30s, but high, mid to 27, 28 maybe tops. I'd love to see Jerome, just step up and play a solid game, play with confidence. I think he could be a really good player, but I'd like to have him have a good game, especially, it's against his former team. But he's definitely going to have a challenge. He's going to be guarding, one of the best players in the game. But that's what if you want to be an NBA player, you got to step up and play well against the good players.
Scotty, you were saying the other day about him that he might carry over a bad shot to the next day. Is that just a young player in this league, just kind of overthinking everything, and maybe just needs to just slow the mind down and allow everything else to kind of run its course?
Yeah, I think a lot of players will do that. I mean, I did it myself when I was a young player. It's hard to play forward because you're so frustrated with yourself at a turnover, a bad shot, or a bad game. But you can't. You got to be able to move on and play forward and get to the next play. You can't play him in reverse. So with him, I think that's my goal this year. The rest of this year is get him to play with confidence when he does have a bad moment. You can compound a bad moment if you don't lock into the next play and not worry about your last play. So I think with him, he's going to get great opportunities in these next 2 games plus 8 games in the seeding game. So I like to see him just play with confidence throughout the game, no matter how well or how bad he's shooting.
All right, next question, Chase Hughes.
Hey, Scott. Obviously, a good first showing for Rui. Now he's going up against a really good defense and probably is going to be the focus of some really good defensive players. What do you think about the test that is awaiting him there?
Well, it's going to be definitely – it's probably the ultimate test. He's going to be guarding, probably Kawhi most of the night, and that guy's MVP type of player. He's a handful, but I think with Rui, you just got to stay down on his shot fakes and just be solid and make him take tough shots. And the thing is, with Paul George and Kawhi, they make tough shots. It's like you can't. A lot of times you can't do nothing about it. They're that good of a player. But it's going to be another learning experience for all of our guys. We're playing against a team that's ready to win a championship right now, and they're probably in some people's eyes are a favorite to win it. But it's going to be a great opportunity for us to see where we are and see what we need to work on going into the next game.
We're going to go back to Fred.
Hey, Scott. Regarding the defensive issues you guys kind of had in and out throughout the year, a common reason you guys say for that is just general communication, which you need to improve on. What do you think are the roots for the communication issue? Like when the communication issue comes, is it because somebody's like anticipating something that doesn't happen? Is it because guys don't see things, like that kind of stuff?
Well, I think in the league you have so many really good, talented offensive players, and it's hard to stop, really good teams and really good players if you don't have communication. So what communication allows you to be aware, to understand what each player is doing, and you're not guessing. And when you guess, there's a good chance you're not going to guess right. And then if you have five guys guessing because they don't hear the next guy, but it's all part of our growth. It's all part of our learning experience. We have a lot of good young players on our team, and the knock that I will have on them is that a lot of times they're very quiet. They have a really just quiet personalities. But I think with with all the Zoom conversations, I think they've been able to communicate much better. And it's kind of weird how something like that can make it, sometimes it can click. But I think we have, in practice shoot around today, I even thought to myself, man, this is one of the loudest shoot arounds we've ever had. Everybody was communicating, they were talking, and they were going over the coverages. And you have to be able to do that. And I think we will. We will get there, but it's just going to take some time.
All right.
Thanks,
back to Chase.
Scott, obviously plus minus for a single game isn't a perfect stat, but Isak Bonga was a major outlier in the last game. He was plus 18. After watching the film, I obviously fouled out very quickly, but do you feel like that was a fluke, or was that legit? Was there some things you saw that he did really well?
No, it's funny. You can go through the league and find, X number of players that don't have a good shooting night or don't, score a lot of points, but they impact the game. He's one of those players. The thing I love about him is his work ethic. He works every day. He doesn't come with a bad work ethic ever. I've never seen him with a bad work ethic. I've never seen him in a bad mood. The guy is always ready to play. His shot is improving, and it needs to get better because he's going to get some opportunities, especially when we're whole, when you have a great point guard like John and a great two guard like Brad, and you have DB always demanding attention. So he's going to get a lot of open looks. But the thing I love about it, he impacts winning, and he doesn't really care about the stats. He's going to compete. He's going to give you everything he has on the defensive end. He's going to run the floor. He's going to try to make plays for his teammates. The thing that I loved about his game, offensive game, was he able to get into the zone with his dribble penetration, and he can pass over the top. Even though Denver had four centers on the court at one time, he still, with his length and his vision, he can pass over the top of most defenders.
Next question with Neil. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Neil.
Hey, Coach, talking about the fouls a little bit, obviously Isak fouled out, Mo fouled out. You guys had some other guys, or Mo didn't foul out, Jerome fouled out. Do you think that was a mix of kind of the officials trying to dictate how they want to call things in the future, or do you think just over-aggressiveness from players who haven't played in a long time?
Well, going into the game, I knew that, the coaches, players, and officials, even score table, we're going to be a little rusty. There's no way around it. But I thought, during the game, I'm thinking that, man, they're giving us a lot of calls. But watching the film, we fouled a lot. We weren't in the right spot, and we used our hands when we don't need to. We had a couple of just fouls that we had a chance to make them take a tough shot, and we bailed them out with a bad foul. But those are things that we have to get better. We can't give, especially tonight. This team is a great free throw shooting team. So if you foul, it's basically you're giving them automatic 2 points, and also they can set up their defense, which they are a great defensive team as well. But we got to do a better job of not fouling.
Is that a short-term fix, or is that something that just with years of experience gets better?
Well, I think with Mo's he's an aggressive player. He just has to control himself sometimes with emotion, and TB's the same way. But I love Mo's ability to step in and take a charge. He didn't get as many as I thought he probably deserved, but that's all part of growing and getting better. I think he will, and it's just going to take some time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Chris, you had your hand up. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to ask Scott about Is Jan available tonight or no?
Jan's available tonight. Don't know how many minutes or if he will play. I know what he can do, but right now, don't know if he's going to play. It's just going to be a game situation.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been great. He's ready to go. He had a good practice yesterday.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Coach. It seems that that's it.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Good to go.
Have a good night.